4-foot ride down the Nile, and in our studio we specialize in Egyptian style dance. Although we do in our upper levels, we start to play with different styles like tribal or some fusion things. To give you kind of a brief background in terms of Egypt, it is on the continent of Africa, and it is considered part of the Middle East region. The language that is spoken there is Arabic. And although there is a segment of Christian and tribal and Jewish, primarily the religion is Muslim. It's 90% Muslim, and out of that it's the Sunni and the Sufi Muslim religion. The Nile River is the longest river in the world, and Egypt's civilization relies very, very heavily on it. It's a big desert, as you know, except right up by the Mediterranean Sea. So Nile really represents life. And many of ancient Egypt's historical sites lie on the base of the Nile. So here's one of my favorite guys. His name is King Tut, and he's pretty amazing. And you can see that he was a little boy pharaoh. Probably most of you know his story. And actually, I think just a few weeks ago, or months ago, they uncovered some new information about King Tut. They said that he had a hole in his head, so they think that he was murdered. Just so you know, I'm sorry to talk about that. And he was the youngest pharaoh of the times. And you can see also over here we have the pyramids. And did you know that there's actually more than 3 pyramids? It's kind of cool. We think because we always hear about the 3 great pyramids that there's only 3, but there are actually smaller ones that represent the queens and the family. And they're all they're pharaohs as well. So how does this relate to belly dance? Well, belly dance is the oldest recorded dance in history. And actually, we can trace our roots right back into the hieroglyphics. You can see them right up here, and actually, I'll show you something in case you ever see the hieroglyphics and you're wondering. These ones right here that have the curved bodies, these are the dancers. These ones are the musicians, but these ones, if you ever see them not standing straight and tall, that would be the dancers. This lady right here, her name is Hafla, and she was the Egyptian goddess of music and dance. So she's pretty important for us. You might see that big head. See the head with the big circle on it. So pharaonic dance is a style that is an artistic rendition of the dance style performed in the times of the pharaohs. And at Raksanna's, we teach pharaonics with specific stylization, and we incorporate the use of props such as candles. Tonight, I'd like to have you turn your attention back to the stage. We'll keep the lights off. This piece is called Eshta, and it was created by Cheryl Newman. Please welcome Aleph Bey. Drums and Middle Eastern dance are a really important combination, and actually the tabla is kind of the heartbeat. If you ever dance for an orchestra, you want to make friends with the tabla player because he can make or break it, he keeps the rhythm going. As I mentioned, the main drum is a tabla, and here you can see two different designs. The characteristics of drums and drum solos are that they are very vibrant and upbeat, and they're very exciting for the audience. There's an artist that if you are a belly dancer or if you are someone who's affiliated with belly dancer through a woman that you love, you need to know his name. His name is Hassan Ramsey. He's world famous. He was born and raised in Cairo, Egypt, and now he lives in London. He frequently contributes to publications such as Sagari, which is an international Middle Eastern public dance publication, and he creates many, many different types of music each year. He is known for dynamic drums and string arrangements. Our next artists are the Real Women Belly Dance, and they are performing a number from Hassan Ramsey called Dalal, which, by the way, means the coy, spoiled one. And where's the fun in being coy and spoiled if you can't dance solos? So says Laura, the choreographer. Please welcome Real Women Belly Dance. Alexandria is located right up here on the Mediterranean Sea. It is the second largest city in Egypt. And it's a coastal city. It was founded way, way, way back when by Alexander the Great, hence the name Alexandria. And it was once Egypt's capital until the Muslims conquered Egypt, and then what they did was they moved the capital over to modern-day Cairo. So it's very, very rich in its history. And this is actually Cleopatra's place. So she's kind of nice, huh? Alexandria, Egypt is known for the Lighthouse of Alexandria, the Bibliothèque of Alexandria, which is actually a library, and it's one of the largest libraries in the world, and Pompey's Pillar and the Catacombs. Their names are Pom el Sokafa. Alexandria is pronounced Escarandre, Escarandi in Egyptian Arabic, and Escarandi is the native of Alexandria. Mahmoud Reda in the 1950s went across Egypt and he documented all of the dances that were going around in the areas of Egypt. Alexandria, he went and what he did was he observed light and he created a character dance out of it. And you can see right here that what he created it out of was the women wearing what we call the burqas. And then also this right here is called the Malaya lap. Malaya is the material, it's this piece of big heavy material, and lap is to wrap yourself. So he created this dance of women walking down the seacoast in Alexandria. So please welcome our level 4 dancers as they perform Malaya lap to Ascarande.
ملوش مواعيد في وجوده الدنيا عيد وفي غيابه الفرح صعب وهو مهما نروح لبعيد راح نعشق في يوم اكيد وده شيء ماهوش بالايد ده اسمه لكل قلب
بتحب جديد لو بتحب جديد ناس بتحب جديد بتحب جديد
طب دوب تيك دودو دوب بيت دوب تيك دودو دارو دوب تيك دودو دوب بيت دورو دوب تيك دودو
توم 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 تيجي لم تيجي لم تيجي لم لم تيجي لم
يا ما عايش قلبك وحيد يا ما كان عقلك عنيد وهلان حتى الحديد وامنتي خلاص بالحب لما هسأل ده يبقى مين وصادفتي الحب فين يعنيكي الخوافين من امتى الحب ذنب
بتحب جديد لو بتحب جديد ناس بتحب جديد بتحب جديد
كل اللي بيجي باين عليكي مش محتاجة كلام ولا بحث ولا تأكيد
بتحب جديد لو بتحب جديد
سلام ايديكي وكلام عينيكي قالوا ان بالك راق واتغيرتي اكيد
بتحب جديد لو بتحب جديد
طب دوب تيك دودو دوب ديك دوب تيك دودو دارو دوب ديك دودو دوب ديك دورو دوب ديك دودو
Our next performer, her name is Zerlina, and she is doing a dance from the coastal area as well. It's from the Suez area, and it's called Kaligi. So if you think about our country and you think about California and kind of the Beach Boys, She's kind of the female version of the Beach Boys in Egypt. And it's called Kaligi. Please put your hands together and welcome Zerlina to the stage. Habibi. You've probably heard that word 10 million times in all these songs that you're listening to, and you may not know what it means. It is an Arabic word that means my beloved or sweetheart. And when a man to a man says it, it means, hey buddy, or like we would come up and say, hey bro, how you doing, or hey man. So it doesn't mean that they're necessarily very, very happy. And habibi is a man to a man or a man to a woman. That would be the pronunciation. But you may also hear the word habibti in the song, particularly if it's a woman singing. And habibti is the pronunciation when a woman says it to a woman. So it's very much a term of endearment. Veil, we haven't seen veil yet tonight, and so I wanted to kind of set the context for you. It's traditionally worn by women in the Middle East for discretion in public. It's a signal of, actually in our country, we think that women who must cover themselves, that it's kind of subservient. We kind of think that the women are suppressed. And in their nation, what they think of is that the women are being protected, that they're valued, and they're so beautiful that only their husband can see them. So it's used in the Middle East for discretion. And it symbolizes flowing femininity, and it creates an exotic mystery. Veil dancing, as it relates to belly dance, was strongly influenced on the East from the West. So actually Americans and women from the West Coast brought veil over to the Middle East, and that's where you started to see it being incorporated. So please welcome Natasha. She is one of our level 1 students, and she is performing Habibi. have 4 levels. We have levels 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we also have different troupe opportunities. We have a student troupe called Aleph Bay, who you've seen perform tonight. We have a brand new troupe that will be an intermediate troupe debuting this fall, and that's name is Raks. And then we have the Desert Flames. So we have a curriculum that's very structured, and that way students can learn the history, they can learn genres, and as they develop as dancers, they start to have a very broad education as well as movement in their bodies. In level 2, we do the introduction of intermediate movements, and as I mentioned, we introduce different genres of dance, one of which is a drum solo. As you saw before, it is about hip articulation, sharp movements, accent, and fun, fun, fun. Our next performer is Nan Beck, and it's her first solo. She's from our level 2 class. Please give it up for Nan Beck. Are zagats and canastas. Those are finger cymbals. If you say zils, it's the Turkish word. If you say zagats, it's the Arabic word. The finger cymbals are a percussion instrument, and belly dancers who can play the cymbals demonstrate their proficiency both as dancers and as musicians. It's really important to be able to understand and recognize and identify those rhythms, and then to be able to play them as well. It adds a lot to the performance, and the audience appreciates it. The ability to play rhythms is a sign of a knowledgeable dancer. Our next group of performers is from our level 2 class, and they are doing Koyo Yoros. Please welcome Amanda and Erica to the stage.
عالسقف
4 group, and these are our advanced dancers in the studio. I'm very proud of them. They work very, very hard, and they take 2 classes a week. They teach technique, which features the world-famous Mahmoud Reda method, and then they also take a choreography class on Sundays. So we've gotten to be a very, very close group of women, and I'm very proud of all the hard work that they do. In addition to doing technique and choreography that is given to them, the other thing that it makes level 4 a little bit different is that they also combine soloist work with teamwork. And this evening's performance is an example of that. The original choreography came from Jasmine Jahal, and then as a class, what our dancers did was they made it a level 4, and they're really going to make it dynamic. So please be prepared to have inspiration from our level 4 dancers. Many names. Raks Sharqi is the Egyptian name or the Arabic name. It is also known as Oriental dance, not to be confused with Far Oriental dance like the Chinese or the Japanese, but Oriental dance usually spelled with an E. It's about glamour, sparkle, and entertainment. And Chicago is home to several outstanding Oriental dancers. Our next performer is one of those outstanding Chicago performers. She's a personal friend of mine, and she's a dynamic entertainer. Please give it up for Miss Kimari. the Western Desert, which is next to Libya. So if you come over here, and here's our little map of Egypt. There's the Sila Oasis, and here's Libya, and this right area is the desert. Bahariya is one of the very small towns up there, and if you do go to Egypt, you'll get a chance to go there. These right here are sand formations in the Western Desert. It's kind of cool. We go camping there at night, kind of crazy. The people there are known as Bedouin, and unlike the United States, where you might be from Texas, I might be from Mississippi, and you might be from Jersey, we're all Americans and that's our first loyalty. In Egypt, it's actually the opposite. They are loyal to their tribes first, and then to being Egyptian. So they are Alexandrian, they are Bedouin, or they are Cairenians. So the Hagela, there are several deserts in this area. There's the White Desert, as I mentioned, this is the formation. There's the Black Desert, there's the Diamond Desert, there's about 15 other deserts out there. It's very interesting that you can distinguish the types of sand from each other. The Bedouin people are a nomadic Arabic tribe. So that means that they're nomads, they travel. Hagela is a dance form from this region, and this dance is performed during the harvest and the wedding dance. And it features women and girls dancing to represent the power and richness of their world and their individual beauty and grace. And these pictures right here, this is actually, you can see Jane up there, and I was over there, and we're in the desert camping around the tents. And then right here is a Bedouin man, so you can see the traditional garb, and he's drinking water, which is a good thing to have. And this lady right here, she's actually a Bedouin bride, and she's getting ready for her wedding. So please welcome our Raksanna's dance company, which is comprised of Aleph Bey and the Desert Flames, as they perform a Hagela dance. Program. Middle Eastern art form is something that is well respected, and actually we're starting to find a lot of the universities embracing the studio and saying they would like to bring this wonderful, wonderful art form and the education for the cultural to their places. So we have a program at Joliet Junior College. We also have it at Benedictine, taught by Kelly. I did the one at Joliet Junior College. The Heritage YMCA was led by Janine Worthington. And then we also have the Wabanza Community College, which was led by Joe Dean. And in fact, tonight we are featuring a lovely dance from our Wabanza Community College Level 1 students. held to a very high standard. They have a leadership at the studio, and they are responsible for nurturing and developing their dancers to achieve their dreams that they have, just like you've seen this evening. They are also required to continually invest in their own personal dance training through classes on Sunday, through workshops throughout the areas. My faculty is Cheryl Newman, Kelly Kandra, Janine Worthington, and Jodine Goldstein. Patricia Gibbons also deserves some recognition because she has really dedicated a lot to our studio. You notice that we're Raksanna and the belly dance stars, and our faculty are responsible for helping develop our students to this level. Please welcome Cheryl Newman, who is also the director of Aleph Bay. I've been telling you a little bit about our curriculum, and one of the things that I haven't told you about is about our level 3 class. And our goal for level 3 is to add grace, poise, and polish to our dancers. It incorporates balletic training to enhance the overall dance presentation, and the majority of ballet dance stars that are in the world incorporate ballet. So this is Rhonda Kamal. She's my absolute favorite person in the whole wide world. She's one of my friends, and she is spectacular. If she ever comes to Chicago, promise yourself you will spend the money to go see her. She's awesome. And then there's Dina, and she's number 1 in Egypt, and she's a nice dancer, but Rhonda's my favorite, so there you go. So in level 3, what we try to do is it's for intermediate dancers. We do have 2 classes in level 3. We have level 3T, which is technique, and it focuses primarily on the arm positions, different movement, and then we have our level 3C class, which is the choreography piece. And the overall goal is to have each dancer start to develop their own style, like Rhonda Kamal or Dino or Kamari, who you saw earlier. The emphasis in level 3 is on classical Oriental. And classical Oriental is music that is characterized by a full orchestra and many rhythm changes in the music. As you can see right here, this is an Arabic orchestra, and in the Middle East, it's like our ballet. When they go onto the stage and they have the big orchestra pit, the belly dancers actually dance in front of the orchestras, and the bigger and the better the belly dancer, the bigger and the better their orchestra. Dina, whose picture you just saw, she has a 27-piece orchestra, and Rhonda has a 21-piece orchestra, but next year I hope she has a 27-piece orchestra. This is the style that you would see in theaters and 5-star venues, and it's really, really lovely. So our next dancers are from our level 3 class, the level 3C. They do have to audition to be on stage, and they learned this semester Tales of the Sahara. Please welcome to the stage our level 3 dancers. American tribal fusion. It has an elusive definition, so if you ever try to put your finger on what it means to be an American tribal dancer, it's actually kind of hard unless you subscribe to what's called ATS, which is American Tribal System. That was put together by Fat Chance Belly Dance out of San Francisco. But in America, we are the melting pot, and you know that there are a lot of different cultures that we have here and a lot of different styles. So as you start to see tribal fusion, you're going to see a lot of different things. As I mentioned, it draws from different influences of Turkish, Egyptian, Lebanese, flamenco, American, and other dance styles. The costuming influences are from a wide range of sources as well. And this is a picture of one of the belly dance superstars. She can do a fantastic back bend. So our next performer is a very, very lovely dancer that I met actually up in Niles about 2 or 3 years ago when we were performing at Opera Fia's Oasis, and she is absolutely fantastic. This is Maharani's soloist debut. Please put your hands together and give her warm encouragement. We are actually going to take a trip away from the Middle East, and we are going to go to the South Pacific, to the Solomon Islands. And this is the South Pacific region, as you can tell. Maybe when I was growing up, I loved to watch musicals and things, and I always heard South Pacific. I'm going to watch that man right out of here. And I had no idea where the hell the Solomon Islands are. So today I was so very excited that the Real Woman Belly Dance brought this to the table so I could do a little bit of research. So if you're like me and you needed to know something more, they are actually located by Australia. And the Solomon Islands are right over here. It is a country in Melanesia, and it is east of Papua New Guinea, and it consists of approximately 1,000 islands. The government is parliamentary democracy within the Commonwealth. And you can see how beautiful it is. There are all those beaches. It's the home also of coral reefs, some really beautiful things, fish and corals. There's a suntan guy there, looking pretty cool. On the Solomon Island, people create a diverse culture. They have a unique language and they have wonderful customs. There are about 120 languages that are spoken, and 95% of the people there are Christian, whereas 5% maintain traditional beliefs. Our next number is called Forest Lullaby. It was beautifully adapted by Jennifer from the song Sweet Lullaby by the group Deep Forest. The song is based on a traditional Biagu lullaby from the tribal people of the Solomon Islands, whose voices are used in the recording. This dance uses a non-traditional approach. The dancer's eyes focus on points away from the audience through most of the dance for effect. In the choreography, sensual, exotic movements are interspersed with movements of strength and precision. Please welcome back to the stage, Real Women Belly Dance. Thank you very much, Oriental. That was beautiful. Our final act today is with Raksanna and the Desert Flames. For those of you who are not familiar with the Desert Flames, they are a professional troupe, and we also go to competition. Tonight we'll be showing the second part of our troupe performance that we're taking to Dallas in July. So please welcome to the stage the Desert Flames.